Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my team selection for match day 3. Remember, I have already pressed the wildcard button for match day 2, so I need to sort my side out, completely refresh it, ready for match day 3. So if you enjoy your World Cup fantasy football videos, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, let's take a look. I'm going to start off in goal then with Jan Sommer. I'm not particularly happy about paying 5 million, but I actually, the way the rest of their side is set up, I did have that sort of money left over. So I think his match against Serbia is a decent opportunity. Switzerland's defence has been pretty solid so far. He's a good keeper. Save points possibility as well. So I'm going to go with Jan Sommer. Quite like the idea of him. Price a bit more than I'm willing to pay. But with a cheap goalkeeper on a bench, I think I've got myself covered. In defence, I've gone through the whole tournament. Might as well have just saved a slot for him. Luke Shaw. Could go Trippier because he's on set pieces. All of that good stuff. But I've gone in the end for Luke Shaw. I think he's pretty nailed there at left back. England still need to get something out of the game to guarantee, well, unless we lose 4-0, to guarantee progression. So Luke Shaw gets the nod for me. He's also picked up some goal involvement in this tournament so far already as well. Alongside him, Mailer. Really attacking player. He's only 4.5 million. I do think Denmark are a good side. Was brilliant in Euro 22 as well. Sorry, Euro 20. I just think he's a great player. 4.5. He's just so attacking. If Denmark get a clean sheet, that's obviously happy days. But I just think there's a potential for goal involvement for him as well. So Joachim Mailer gets in the side too. Alongside him at the back then, I've gone round. Costa Rica just looks so poor. How on earth they beat Japan, I just don't know. But Germany, desperate for the win, desperate to get as many goals as they can as well. Raum nailed in up fullback position, gets forward for Germany, 4.5, looks good. And Germany, I just don't think have looked that bad in this tournament so far either. So Raum, really important. I'm going to have him in for the Costa Rica game, who I just think are just one of the poorest sides in the tournament. Talking about poorest sides, the only team I think is probably poorer are Qatar. So Dumfries, yes, he's expensive. Gets really far forward, and again Holland, you expect them to beat Qatar, so I'm just hoping for some sort of goal involvement, but at minimum a clean sheet for Dumfries, who's let me down in the past. But for 6 million, I'm happy to take a punt on him as well. So that would make up my midfield, my defence. Moving into midfield, then I've got David Klassen. Really cheap. Now, if he plays up front, well, just behind the front players, and I imagine most of the Holland midfield are going to be quite far forward anyway against Qatar, I just think he's got a great chance. He has a few shots at goal. He has already got a goal involvement. For 6 million, I can't really turn that down. He enables me to put money elsewhere, but he does have a good opportunity of getting goal involvements as well. So, David Klassen, he comes in for me. Alongside him, again, another player that I've just kept throughout the tournament. Perhaps, well, I completely lied. I didn't have him for the first game. I wish I had. Saka, 8 million. There's just not many options in that midfield. For 8 million, there are a few. I think Saka against Wales, I'm happy to go for. Wales are going to have to take the game to England. They're going to have to try and win that game. Hopefully that might leave a few gaps for Saka to exploit. If for whatever reason he doesn't start, let's talk about Foden coming on, then I can just move across to him. That's fine. I've got transfers to use in-game match day 3 anyway. But for me, Saka, yeah, he just looks a threat. And yeah, he's going to be in my side. Alongside him making up that midfield then, Pulisic, the main man for USA. Decent fixture against Iran. And again, they're going to have to win that game. And it's going to have to happen, you would have thought, with Pulisic getting involved. Anything that goes through the USA, Pulisic is going to be thereabouts. For 7.5, I quite like him as a bit of differential punt. So you can see already, I'm just going hard or go home on this sort of World Cup Fantasy League. It's time to have a bit of fun, and I just want to take a few differential options. Pulisic is right up there with them. Moving up front then, Gakpo, he's kept his place in the side. I really like him. He should be pushed further forward. There's a worry with Depay perhaps starting that his minutes might be managed, but I think Bergwijn and Janssen will be the likelier players to give way, and Jack Gakpo will just keep on playing. He's scored in both games so far. 7 million. He looks like an absolute bargain playing so far forward as well for Holland. Up front alongside him then, I've got Ferran Torres for 7 million. Looking around this price point, because I'm also going to show you who I've got next. Ferran Torres played up front twice now for Spain in both games. They'll want something to top this group from their last remaining match against Japan. I think Japan are a decent side, but I do think that Spain will just have enough to beat them. Ferran Torres on penalties as well. 7 million. I think he's a decent option. always seems to be there or thereabouts. It's about time he got on the score sheet and did something. He's already got a few points. And then finally, Mbappe, there is a worry about minutes for him. And Deschamps already came out and said that, yeah, there will be rotation of players that have already gone through, qualified with the 2 wins. Mbappe, though, he said he desperately wants to play. He's got 3 goals already this tournament. I think Mbappe will want that golden boot and he will be keen to play. So you don't expect him to get a lot of minutes. I expect him to get at least half. There's a lot of money to risk, but I think he's just so explosive. He could really hurt Tunisia. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Mbappe up front. On the bench then, my backup keeper, Rocher, he's got to go on at 4 million. I've just got to go for it. I think 4 million, he's just... Hopefully someone will do the business and I'm not going to have to worry about Rocher. Anyway, Sandro, cheapest way into that Brazilian defence. I think he should play in that game as well, even though obviously Brazil have already qualified for the group knockout stages already. Musiala, with that game, they've got against Costa Rica, I think 8 million, he's just a bargain. He's got to come in up front. He will play in that game alongside Ram. I think that's a great fixture against Costa Rica. And then in the final match, final player to come onto my bench, Eriksen, 8 million, Croatia. Good, just everything comes through him. I am doubling up with Mæhle and Eriksen, but he has created quite a few chances for Denmark. He's 90 minutes, set pieces. They've got to do something. So I think they'll be going full out for it. Eriksen is going to get my nod. Finally, last thing I will say, I mean, I could go, there's other options like Hernandez I have thought about, but again, I'm just worried about rotation. Trippier instead of Shaw. This is my side there. Musiala against Costa Rica and obviously Raum there. I am thinking of playing my power captain. I think this is the last of the group games. I do think this is going to be the highest potentially scoring round for some players. I don't know who it would be. You know, it's not. It could be end up being someone like Klaassen. It could end up being someone like Eriksen. But I think that with the knockout stages just being a bit closer, scores being less as high, I just think this is going to be, if I'm going to get a high scoring player, it's going to be most likely to be in this round. So my power captain would be playing in this game. And remember, I've got 2 transfers as well in this game, in this match day. So whoever's not playing, I can tweak around and have a fiddle with. Initially in this side, I had lots of De Bruyne and Hazard. I've just completely ignored them now. I'm just, I think, a little bit fed up of Belgium. They don't look that impressive at all. If anything, I'll probably target them rather than move them away. But I still have 2 transfers to react to any team news of players rotating. But on the whole, I look at this side and I do think it's pretty settled. And most of them should play. So hopefully that could give me the opportunity to transfer some luxury players out. Maybe if Mbappe wasn't playing, I could downgrade him and then look to move a Torres or a Sandro up to someone else. But otherwise, I quite like this side. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my side. Is there anyone that I am missing? Is there any players that you think that should be essential for match day 3? In the meantime, good luck with your match day 3 and I shall see you on the other side.